Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Tier Maker. Yes, this is where I'm going to be ranking every item in Corebound based on how practical they are to use them and how important they are. And I already know that I tried to tell you something in my last video, oh, Corebound, all enemies ranking. If you guys remember that I'm gonna be ranking every item in Corebound, I have been making this Corebound all items ranking video. So, I'm gonna be ranking based on how practical they are to use them in your typical way. Now, I already know that some of my uh, mistakes are going to be table that I do need to put them in my preference, but it doesn't matter. I have to make sure that I put all these items arrangedly accordingly to their practicalities. Alright, let's move on to the hulls. First hull is Crawler, A tier. The very first hull that the game gives us is 100% better to all hulls in the game. And it has more text slots than the other three hulls. Next is Driver, B tier. A worse hull than Crawler, mainly due to the fact that Crawler has simply more text slots. Driver is also very difficult to control because of its slow acceleration. Fast acceleration. The tank. Absolute S tier. Do I even need to explain this hull? With 5 weapon slots, it is the hull with the most weapon slots it can have. Lastly, Dasher. C tier. Dasher is just the worst hull overall, with only 2 weapon slots and among the hulls with the least amount of deck slots it can have. Dasher has so much things to do because you definitely need something else, like very important weapons. Alright, now let's move on to the weapon items. First up is Turret. Solid A tier. The very first weapon that the game gives us is the first and the very beginning weapon you get in the beginning of the game. The very first weapon that the game gives us as well. Next is Ranger, B tier. Ranger is definitely a better version of Turret, but it takes some time for it to charge and then shoot. It's also more longer to shoot enemies at range. It is a very far range to make. If you do want to shoot enemies at long range, then I guess you could use Ranger instead. Next is Motard, S tier. Motard is definitely about like something that Obstron can do. Though it is a S tier because it's mainly because only one enemy that drops it. It is dropped by Obstron, the enemy in the desolate terrains that shoots mortars and explodes on contact. If you do want to get it, you can take advantage by upgrading it, and again, it is only dropped by Obstron. Next is Ump, C tier. Ump is basically like something you struck lightning to enemies, but it deals so low damage than the other three weapons in the game. And if you do wanna upgrade, you can use it if you have the only weapon that's upgraded. Ember, C tier. Ember is a little difficult item to control. If you do want to get close to this enemy, if you do want to get a little close to an enemy, then you might as well just use Nova. Ember is a little difficult item to control as it only drops by Forge Heart, the boss in the Desolate Terrains. And guess what? The boss in the Desolate Terrains is very far away. And there's only one Forge Heart in the Desolate Terrains. The Sarge Crystal, B tier. The Sarge Crystal is basically like something you do wanna use for your typical ways. Though it's a B tier because it's mainly because one enemy that drops it. It is dropped by Volthard, a secret enemy that's very rare and difficult to find. And also, you could find Volthard if you want to, because if you do want to upgrade it, you can take advantage by using some of your items to upgrade it. And again, it is only dropped by Volthard. And also, you can't use more than one Sarge Crystal in your builds. If you do, then say goodbye to your damage. Last but not the least of the weapons, the Node. S tier. It is basically not a weapon, but it is a weapon that's installed on a weapon slot. Node is the holy grail of all builds in Gorebound. It directly increases your tech slots of the cost of one weapon slot. An absolute blessing of an item, so much so that all of the most efficient thing in the game uses Node. Now, Nova. Another solid S tier. Nova is the best weapons in the game, but I do think you can use it because flaring can drop it. But unfortunately, I don't feel like I could make it as an easy enemy to dodge. If you want to watch my last tier list of Gorebound of all rankings, I have it in my channel. The link is in the description below. Flarings drop it. Flarings drop it, but I don't feel like that. I don't know, D tier for them. So yeah, I definitely feel like I could win to S tier. Alright, now time for the tech slots. First up is Drone, S tier. Drones are just simply the best of all terms of health. It grabs loot for you, and also Nova. Almost the same as Nova. Nova can shoot lasers and non-stop damage. But even more better, you could use drones. Alright. Next is Hookshot, A tier. Hookshot is one of the better designed items. You can grab up by using the hook shots in the ceiling. Doing that will make you go a little bit higher. Hook shot is very important because you can use it to climb up. Also, If you do want to find Spectrum, to find it you must climb up by using your hook shots. Just like I said in my last video. Now, next is Hull Shred. A tier. Hull Shred directly increases your max health. And the more health, the more better, because uh, using more health will make you last a little bit longer. Now, Leech Core. B tier. Leech Core is basically like something, but just like Hull Shred, you do need some health. Also, in order for you to get some use out of it, you need to get hit in the first place. Again, just get good. Leech Core can be a waste, but it also restores your health by killing enemies. Next is the Magnifier. S tier. Magnifiers are important items. You have to understand that Corebound is a looting game. Corebound is basically like something but a looting game, but you could use magnifiers to collect items very fast. Next is Motor. Absolute garbage D tier. Motor is 100% useless to all builds, while Motor can be useful because Motor can directly increase your max speed. Who in their right mind would put two nodes just to be able to put motors? Do not use motors, whatever you do. Overdrive Cell, S tier. Overdrive Cells is basically like something you could do something with it. But just like the Hull Shred and Leech Core, it directly increases your max health and also directly increases your max damage. And if you do want to increase the damage of your weapon Nova, you can take advantage by using Overdrive Cells. Next is the Propeller, S tier. The Propeller is one of the better designed items in the game. Also, it does do an outstanding job like this. It makes you fly and also doesn't last a little bit longer, but it can be useful. Next is the Shield Unit. Another solid S tier. Survivability item is basically like something you could use. Though it's a S tier because it's mainly because only one enemy that drops it. It is dropped by Orbital, the boss in Beacon City. And guess what? There are two Orbitals and you can defeat them very easily. And then they'll drop this shield unit for you. Now, Spring, D tier. Spring is basically like something you can directly increase your jump boost. But just like Motor, you can't make it very easy for you. You don't need any more jump boost. Also, in order for you to get some use out of it, you need to dodge the enemy's attacks by jumping. Again, just see what happens. Spring is another waste of tech slots. Now, the last item, the Spike. B tier. Now, before you get mad at me, let me explain. Spike is basically like something you get closer to an enemy and it will deal damage. But you cannot hit flying enemies, such as Drone Weaver. Terrorhawk, Reaver, and Cyclovane, that they are very rare enemies and difficult to catch them. Also, if you do wanna catch them, you can take advantage by using a hook shots. Look, this hook shot, and again, they're very rare enemies that it is difficult to catch. And also, you can use a lot of uh, you can use a lot of spikes. If you do, then say goodbye to your important deck items. And there you have it, everybody. All items has been ranked on a tier list. Some of the items I do need to rank them in my preference, but I don't care. Design won't let any sort of items will go in any bad and worse rankings. They're useful items I could use, and they are very practical. So, what do you guys think? So, do you agree with this tier list or not? If not, then what will you have changed? If you agree with this tier list, check in this video. If you don't agree with it, you can make your own tier list. Also, have a nice time, and also I'm gonna make my first try not laugh challenge in the next video. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.